All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to tackle a huge question. What really makes people feel motivated and connected to their work? Now, that's always been an important question, but it's getting more critical than ever, especially as new technologies like AI start to change the game. So, I want to start with just a number, 13%. Take a second and guess. What do you think this represents in the global workforce? I don't know, is it the percentage of people who actually like their boss? The number of companies that have free snacks? Well, the reality is pretty sobering. According to some major global research, that's the percentage of employees worldwide who feel truly engaged with their jobs. Just 13%. Think about that. On a global scale, that is a massive crisis of disconnection. And so that really begs the question, doesn't it? What is holding back that other 87%? What's the missing ingredient that's stopping people from really bringing their A game to work every day? And look, this isn't just about feelings or office morale. This great disengagement has real, tangible consequences. When people are checked out, they are far more likely to leave, and that leads to massive costs from high employee turnover. If you want a really clear example, just look at the hospitality industry. Research shows that its employee turnover rate is a whopping 10 to 15% higher than in other industries. And a huge driver for that, you guessed it, a fundamental lack of engagement. Okay, so that's the problem. It's pretty bleak. But what's the solution? Well, the good news is, the same research doesn't just tell us what's wrong, it actually gives us a clear roadmap. It points to a set of really foundational, human-centric factors that are proven to create real, lasting engagement. And you know what? It's not nearly as complicated as you might think. After digging through all the data, the study found it really boils down to two fundamental human needs in the workplace: feeling supported by your organization and feeling like the whole system is fair. What's really powerful here is just how simple this is. We're not talking about ping-pong tables or fancy perks. True support is about empowering leadership. That means managers who trust their people enough to give them real authority to make decisions. It's also about a collaborative culture where people genuinely have each other's backs. Okay, so that's support. But what about that second pillar, fairness? What does that actually look like day to day in an organization? Well, fairness has a few different layers. Of course, it's about fair rewards and recognition, feeling like your value is seen. But it's also about what researchers call distributive justice, or the outcomes like pay and promotions divided up equitably. And maybe even more importantly, there's procedural justice. Is the process for making those decisions transparent and unbiased? You know, it's not just about the slice of the pie you get, it's about feeling like the pie was cut fairly to begin with. So we have support and fairness, and that creates engaged employees. But so what? What's the ultimate payoff for the organization? This is where we see this incredible chain reaction kick in. The research is crystal clear on this. Engaged employees don't just hit their targets. They feel safe, motivated, and connected enough to build an innovative culture. And that culture of innovation is what ultimately drives the success of the whole organization. Engagement isn't the end goal, it's the engine. Okay, so the foundation seems solid, right? Support and fairness. But just when we think we've gotten a handle on the human side of things, a powerful new player has entered the game, and it is changing everything. Let's talk about artificial intelligence. AI isn't just a new piece of software. For many of us, it's starting to feel like a new kind of team member. And its arrival is creating a whole new set of psychological dynamics at work. A 2023 study calls AI a boundary-crossing object. That's a fascinating way to put it, right? The idea is that AI is designed to be the bridge between pure technology and human work. It's meant to transfer the power of the tech directly into an employee's performance. And let's be clear, when this works, it really works. The research shows that high-performing AI tools have a significant positive effect on employee engagement and their performance. The right tool can genuinely help people feel better at and more connected to their jobs. But here's the crucial question that complicates everything. What happens inside the human brain when that AI tool stops looking like a helpful co-pilot and starts looking like a potential replacement? This brings us to the most critical factor of all. The success or failure of AI in the workplace doesn't really hinge on the technology itself. It all comes down to one of our most powerful emotions, the feeling of security. The 2023 research found that job security acts like a master switch. When employees feel their jobs are secure, they embrace AI as a helpful tool, and their engagement and performance go up. But when job security is low, they see that exact same technology as a threat, and the whole thing backfires. Engagement and performance go down.
And here's the psychological reason why. As the researchers put it, job security renders a willpower or internal strength. When you're not wasting mental energy worrying about your future, you have the focus and willpower to learn new tools, to engage deeply, and to perform at your best. It just makes sense.
And this brings everything full circle. The big takeaway here is that technology doesn't replace the need for human-centric leadership. It magnifies it. The only way to create that feeling of job security, that master switch for AI adoption, is by building that foundation of support and fairness. Leaders have to create the psychological safety that allows technology to thrive.
So we're left with a final, critical question to think about. The tools we use at work are changing at an incredible pace, but are the fundamental principles of leadership and management keeping up? That's the question to reflect on.